if Trump wins again, he will be in a position to not only reposition the Republican Party, that's already been done, but to completely reframe and recenter the field of politics. I think he said field of politics, but like just the nation generally, like a massive shift. And reminded me of this moment from Trump's inaugural address. The reason I thought of this is because this weekend, George W. Bush was trending on Twitter. I don't even know why, but I clicked it. And this article popped up from Trump's inaugural where George W. Bush was quoted as saying to someone next to him after the speech, W. Bush said, "That was some weird S word." Because that was the takeaway from the media, was how just bizarre how dark and weird and bizarre the inaugural address was. So here's a portion of that inaugural address. And there's two different things I think we should consider as we're listening to this 2 minutes. First is, do you disagree with it? Like, do you agree or disagree? But then we must recognize how different this is. How unusual. I don't think unusual is a strong enough word. How just that's not the right word. It's totally different. Like we haven't had anything like this before. So this is from Trump's first inaugural.
One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers that were left behind. The wealth of our middle class has been ripped from their homes and then redistributed all across the world. But that is the past. And now we are looking only to the future.
All right, what is this future? What is this future? Oh, by the way, oh, this is great. I didn't notice this when I saw it. The camera cuts over to Obama and Hillary and Bush. There's W. Bush, and they are not moving. They are not applauding. They do not like that characterization of the past, which would be their presidencies. I don't want to see their faces again. Yeah, they do not applaud. You hear some tepid applause from the people in the front row. W is not happy.
We assembled here today are issuing a new decree to be heard in every city,
all right,
in every foreign capital, and in every hall of power. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Now the camera cuts to the people. And when it cuts to the people, they're going nuts.
Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries, making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs. Protection will lead to great prosperity and strength. I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
All right, so there's the populism. The left hates it. So, like, can you recognize how, first of all, how populist that is, how different that is from anything that any president has ever said? It's amazing. So imagine when he wins again. CNN wrote what they attempted to be a hit piece, 15 promises that Donald Trump has made so far in his campaign for a second term. And I think I agree with all of them. Here's some of the extreme ones from the left's perspective. The former president also made waging war on drug cartels a priority for his second term. If elected, Trump said he would ask Congress to ensure that drug smugglers and human traffickers can receive the death penalty for their heinous acts. I love now the left's like, oh, like they come to the defense of the drug cartels now. That's what'll happen because they have to. They have to do the opposite of everything Trump does and says. So Trump, literally, if Trump speaks bad about MS-13 gang members like he did, Nancy Pelosi has to come out and talk about the spark of divinity inside everyone. So Trump comes out against the drug cartels, and then the left has to come out in support of drug cartels. It's beautiful. On gender care, Trump says, I will revoke every Biden policy promoting the chemical castration and sexual mutilation of our youth and ask Congress to send me a bill prohibiting child sex mutilation in all 50 states. The left, of course, hates that. They have to be for chemical castration and child mutilation. It's great. And Trump talked a bit about infrastructure. So the reason we were talking about Albert Bierstadt earlier today, this painter, is we're talking about the infrastructure bill. So we talked about the State of the Union on Friday, and some guy called in. He's like, oh, Slater, what's the big deal? Biden's pretty good. He passed the infrastructure bill. It's like, oh, man, like that's it? That's what we got? That's how pathetic things are, that an infrastructure bill is the best we can pull together? That's what inspires the American people now, repairing a highway overpass? So we spoke to that earlier about who we used to be and who we were as people when we built a country. The infrastructure bill. So the opposite of it, I was just the opposite, like the MAGA version of repairing highway overpasses, which we're supposed to celebrate Joe Biden about, would be Trump's idea of freedom cities. Hey, with me on these? I actually love this. So again, this is CNN making fun of Trump. Trump said in multiple campaign videos he would spearhead an effort to build so-called freedom cities to, quote, reopen the frontier, reignite American imagination, and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, all hardworking families, a new shot of home ownership and, in fact, the American dream. In his plan, the federal government would charter 10 new cities on federal land, awarding them to areas with the best development proposals. The former president said in a campaign video the freedom cities would bring the return of U.S. manufacturing, economic opportunity, new industry, and affordable living. And then also talked about flying cars. Listen, I love it. All right, I love talking like this. I love thinking like this. America used to do great things. We used we settled the frontier. We used to have world expos where we would show off to the world all the things we're creating and inventing and growing and building, and we don't do anything like that anymore. When's the last time we've had a new city in America? Why not? Why can't we have a new city? I love this idea. I love this type of thinking. Yeah, why not build a new city? There's a bunch of people in Silicon Valley who are building a new city outside of San Francisco. I'm for it. There's some controversy about how they've strong-armed the landowners in order to get them the land. But whatever, the concept of it is what I'm talking about here. Now, Trump cities wouldn't have to worry about that because it'd be on federal land, so that's not an issue. But like, why not think like that? Why not talk like that? Instead, literally a guy called in, he's like, well, the infrastructure bill's pretty good. Like he felt that he was so inspired by the infrastructure bill from Joe Biden that he called in. I didn't ask for thoughts on the infrastructure bill. He called in. He's like, oh, I have to brag on the infrastructure bill. It's like, man, that is so pathetic that that's who we are now. No, we should be thinking big like we always used to.